Thinking recently about Prometheus reminded me of something that I'd forgotten. Back in 2011, I wrote a stage play that was actually remarkably similar to what Prometheus ended up being. I never wrote it to a final draft that I was happy with, though. Like the script of the original Alien, I designed the characters to be played by actors of any gender, as long as the captain and pilot are the same gender, and the play was designed to be performed on a totally minimalist set, with blank cubes and freestanding walls to represent any and all scene elements. Here's the plot, as best as I can remember it. A few hundred years in the future, a blue-collar surveying team are on their way to orbit yet another potentially habitable planet to see how expensive it would be to terraform, a process by then as common as building new apartments. The crew's standard human-like android is awake while they are in suspended animation, and he's there to monitor them and the ship. We open on him waking the crew up to begin the orbital survey, and he's listening to both Mendelssohn and Elvis Presley simultaneously to try and understand music. The crew's scans detect a large pyramid on the planet's surface that doesn't appear to be naturally formed. The pilot wants to set down on the planet to check it out, but the captain vetoes this as being too dangerous. After talking idly with the two geological scientists about the potential of finding the remains of a non-human civilization, both scientists are religious, but with differing views on divine providence that becomes important later, the pilot ignores orders and lands the ship, damaging part of it in the process. The android gets to work repairing the damage, while the two scientists don spacesuits and go to check out the pyramid and collect samples. The captain and pilot, meanwhile, argue out their constant problem and friction with each other, and realise it's because they're actually very attracted to each other. They have sex, while the two scientists find murals and carvings in the pyramid that depict people of a long-dead civilization seeding other worlds with intelligent life, including the Earth. The captain and pilot are walked in on by the homophobic scientist A, the only one of the three individuals who left the ship to return. He explains that the android has malfunctioned and killed scientist B, and they need to take off immediately. However, as they are prepping for takeoff, Scientist B is spotted, injured but alive. Before he can be brought back on board, Scientist A suddenly attacks the captain and pilot. On the planet's surface, Scientist B explains to the android that Scientist A has decided that the pyramid must be a lie sent to test him and that they all perished in the crash landing. They're in purgatory, and he must prevent their return to Earth in order to escape it and get to heaven. They force their way on board, and the android uses his inhuman strength to subdue Scientist A, forcing him into an airlock. But then he turns on the rest of the crew, knocking them out. They awaken in the other airlock, the ship now back in space, and the android wanting to be told which side to believe. After listening to both Scientist A and then the rest of the crew, he comes to a realization. Some things are like the two pieces of music, each with their own beauty and flaws, but incompatible when placed together, such as two different philosophies, two competing ideologies, or even two people who form a destructive relationship, despite feeling love for each other. Feeling that he now finally understands the nature of both pieces of music, he opts to eject Scientist A into space and allow the rest of the crew back on board the ship, to discuss whether they bring their discovery back to Earth. And that was it! Anyway, then Prometheus came out about a year later, and it was similar enough that I stopped working on the stage play.